Hey guys, it's Cody with Leisure Time Games, and today I'm going to be playing my first Warhammer 40,000 battle report with the new Necron codex from 2015. This is the brand new Necron codex, so we're going to do a pretty big game here, me and Nick. Everybody knows Nick, Tau player. We've played large-scale games with Necrons and Tau before, so this will be the first one with the new codex, pretty exciting. 3,500 points. We rolled for the game. We're going to play Maelstrom of War, Cleanse and Control, so 3 tactical objectives. Rolled for our Warlord traits, and I got forward planning, so I get to discard some on turn 1 and draw new ones if I'd like. And Nick got...
Lead by example.
So his Warlord will score an extra point if he's sitting on one that's score objective marker number, blank. We have our armies behind us. We're going to walk you through the armies real quick and show you the board. It's obviously the diagonal deployment for Cleansing Control. I won that roll-off. I picked my side. I won the second roll-off and also chose to go first. So I'll be deploying first, and we'll show you the armies before first turn, after deployment. But first we'll show you behind us, walk you through the army. Alright, to start off, 3,500 points of new Necrons. Essentially, I split up my army into 2 detachments, mostly because I didn't have models to complete the formations to keep them all part of the Decarian detachment. But I do have 1 Decarian detachment. So my Decarian detachment consists of the first primary formation, the Reclamation Legion. So my Reclamation Legion is Catacomb Command Barge as my Warlord. He's the one with the Warlord trait. He has a couple of relics, or a couple of upgrades I should say. He has the Staff of Light, which is standard on him. He also has a Nightmare Shroud and a Phylactery. And then of course I'm running him with a 5-man squad of Doomsides. They are actually upgraded to have Nebula Scopes, Shadow Looms, and Shield Veins, so 3-up save, +1 to cover, ignores cover with their weapons. Then for the troops, I'm running 4 10-man squads of Warriors. I have 1 10-man squad of Immortals with the Gauss Blasters. They're going to be in the Night Scythe. I'm also running 2 Monoliths and a 10-man squad of Death Marks as the 1 auxiliary port that I have to use. So Death Marks is the 1 auxiliary formation there. That's going to be my Decarian detachment, and then I have a combined arms detachment that consists of I forget his name. It's Oricon the Diviner. Oricon the Diviner's down there. He's with a 5-man squad of Lich Guard with War Scythes. They're in a Night Scythe as well. So that's my HQ. For the troops, I got 2 10-man squads of Warriors. I'm running 1 Elite Catan Shard of the Deceiver, a heavy Transcendent Catan. I got the Triarch Praetorian, or Triarch Stalker. Doomsday Arc. Try that guy out now with his new weapon. We got a 5-man squad of Canoptic Race with Whip Coils. That gives him the +3 to initiative now. And a Doom Scythe with its new blast template thing. So 2 different detachments. Basically the 2 units of 2 10-man squads of Warriors down here will actually have the objective secured special rule. I actually have numbers written on the bases of my guys. So all the guys with little 3s on the bottom are the ones from the combined arms detachment. They have objective secured, but they only have a 5-up randomation protocol, as well as the Lich Guard. But my Immortals and the guys with 1s and 2s on their bases for the Warriors and the Decarian detachment have the 4-up reanimation protocol, but do not have objective secured. So those are my 2 detachments. That's my 3,500 points of Necrons with the new codex, and today we're going to be playing against 3,500 points of Tau. So let's take a look at that.
Alright, we'll go ahead and start with my HQ. My commander today is going to be equipped with a drone controller, stimulant injector, shield generator, command and control node, multi-spectrum sensor suite, iridium battle armor, and 2 gun drones. He's not actually equipped with any weaponry of his own. He is going to be joining this crisis suit squad, which is going to consist of one crisis suit with air bursting frag and cyclic ion blaster, and 2 crisis suits with, those are going to be actually single, not twin-linked burst cannons and flamers. All 3 also have the stimulant injector, which will give them feel no pain. And each of them has 2 gun drones for a total of 6 gun drones in that squad, plus 2 from the commander. It's 8 gun drones. We also have, filling out our elites, my Riptide. It is going to be running with its ion cannon. It's also running the smart missile system, the shielded missile drones, stimulant injector and velocity tracker. I am running in the elite category. We have the fusion crisis team. That's going to be a team with 3 crisis suits, each with twin-link fusion and 1 plasma rifle. Each of those is actually got a gun drone with them. I know they look like shield drones, but I ran out of gun drones. Hard to believe in a Tau army that someone would run out of gun drones, but I did. I have, filling out the heavies, 2 broadside teams and 1 hammerhead. Broadside teams are back here. One of them is running just what's shown on it, the high-yield missile system, the twin-link smart missile system, the seeker missile, and the missile drones. This one over here is running the railguns, the smart missile system, and the missile drones.
Seeker missile.
And the seeker missile. Both are equipped with stimulant injectors as well. And then my hammerhead over here has got the burst cannons, the ARS, the disruption pod, and the submunition rounds. We have in the fast attack 2 Pathfinder teams. The first one is going to be a small Pathfinder team of 3 rail rifle Pathfinders, 1 sergeant, and 2 marker drones. The next Pathfinder squad is a fully loaded Pathfinder squad with ion rifles. They're going to be in the Devilfish, which is equipped with all of the neat bells and whistles for the Pathfinders, all the special drones and stuff like that. The only thing they don't have is the EMP grenades. And then, of course, I have my Piranha squad finishing out my fast attacks. It's 5 teams, 5 Piranha team. Looks like one of them is missing a pilot. I'm going to have to go through my box and figure out what happened to him. But
I would never noticed that if you didn't say that.
1 is equipped with a fusion cannon, the rest are equipped with burst cannons. They are equipped with the sensor spines and the disruption pods as well. And the point defense targeting relay. Finally, for my troops, I have 4 units of fire warriors. 2 units of them are 12 strong. 2 units are 10 strong with 2 marker drones and a commander, or not a commander, a sergeant in each one. They also have EMP grenades and are going to be loaded up in the 2 Devilfish here, which also have the point defense targeting relay, the disruption pod, and the sensor pods.
Where's your sergeant for this one?
This one actually, and this one will not have a sergeant. These 2 have sergeants so that they can have the gun drones, or the marker drones.
Okay. They have transports.
And they have the transports here and here. And then I do have a 16-man unit of Kroot.
Alright. That's 3,500 points of Tau versus 3,500 points of Necrons, and that is a pretty packed 4 foot by 4 foot table space there, or 4 foot by 3 foot table space there, just packed with models. I love it. It looks awesome. Here's the board that we're playing on today. We haven't actually played with like some forced terrain like this, but we will do mysterious objectives. We will not have night fighting. That's pretty much it. So the diagonal deployment is actually, one of them goes up this line here, cuts the top of that panel and goes off that way. That's going to be my deployment zone on this side. Nick's deployment zone starts a little bit back here, cuts across the front of that one and goes by that piece of rubble there, and he basically gets that panel mainly right there. So those are the deployment zones. We'll show you guys the board after we deploy. Alright, so we are all deployed now. I'm going to give you guys a look at the board, and we'll go over the objectives that we drew for turn 1. and yeah, everything that happened during deployment. So I deployed first. Here's the Necron deployment here, following the diagonal line. I have one objective in my deployment zone, we each do, and then several objectives just out of reach for each one of us. I'm running the Deceiver, so since I'm running the Deceiver, I got to redeploy a D3 units. I rolled a 2, which means 1 unit. So I redeployed my Monolith up onto this ridge here. We'll have to roll a dangerous terrain test when he goes to move, but I just needed him closer to that guy for various reasons. Yeah, and pretty standard deployment for the Tau, because we're playing 3,500 points. Not much you could do except cover the entire battlefield on both sides. Nick also got a scout movement, I think, for Pathfinders.
Yep.
So Pathfinder team moved up a little bit, getting close to that objective. They might actually pretty darn close to within 3 inches of it, so they might have that one. If not, they will. We are going to have mysterious objectives, of course, so we'll just close what those are at the end of the first turn, whichever ones were discovered. For objectives, I drew 3, and I had 1 for D3 victory points if I slay the enemy warlord, 1 for destroying a gun emplacement or building, and 1 for holding objective marker 2. Now 1 for score D3 victory points if I control any 3 objectives. I discarded the 1 based on my warlord trait for enemy gun emplacement, and got the 1 for scoring objective 2, which is right up in Nick's deployment. So I may end up having to discard that one as well, but for now I'm stuck with it. Nick drew his cards. He got...
let's see, I got score 1 victory point if you control objective marker 2, so that's going to be good for me. Score 1 victory point if you issue a challenge during your turn. If you issue 3 or more challenges during your turn, score D3 victory points instead. And then the last one I got was score 1 victory point if an enemy unit was completely destroyed during the assault phase of your turn. If you completely destroy 3 or more enemy units during the assault phase of your turn, score D3 victory points instead.
Alright, so...
Not very Tau friendly on those last 2.
These guys just over here, obviously, transports for the Tau. These guys, because they're flyers, are all waiting. These are transports, so I have guys that are going to be waiting to come in as well. And my death marks are going to be Deep Strike Reserve. So that's it. Right now I have turn 1, and Nick's going to roll to see if he can seize the initiative on a 6+, or on a 6. Nope. It is not. So we're going to go into Necron, turn 1. So end of Necron, turn 1. Basically, everyone was just shuffling forward this turn. I have shorter range than the Tau, so I need to get within there, plus I need to grab objectives. So this warrior squad here in objective number 5 is the only warrior squad that did not move. It's the only squad really in the army that didn't move, and of course the Doomsday Arc. Other than that, I had the Monolith passed its dangerous terrain test, it moved forward, the race moved forward their 12-inch, and then they ended up running to get that objective, which we rolled for, and it's a grav wave generator, so it's harder to charge them. The Catan, we played the Catan that it would do 2 of its attacks because monstrous creature can fire 2 weapons, and the chart has multiple weapons on it. So that's how we're playing it for now until it's possibly errated, because we think it probably will be because it's really powerful. Because we basically rolled a couple powers, and the Catan obliterated a Pathfinder squad that was in the forest there. So pretty deadly. This warrior team just ran forward a little bit. I got some major hits with the Doomsday Arc on some transports over here. The Devilfish, that's what they're called. Yeah, strength 10, AP 1, got some pens causing explodes on both. Nick chose to Jink. He has a 3-up Jink because he has an upgrade that allows him to go from a 4-up to a 3-up. And yeah, so they saved. Didn't end up blowing them up. That was very good. Got some shooting off with the Monolith onto the Riptide and some broadsides. Didn't do much there. Got some shots off to kill some drones with a couple of warriors and the Tomb Blades. Ran forward the warriors over here. Ran the Track Stalker because nothing was within his 24-inch range. Shot this Monolith at a Fire Warrior squad and actually ended up killing half of them. They failed their leadership test, and they are now running. So I killed one squad, killed a couple of drones, got a fire warrior team to run, and then at the end of my turn, oh, by the way, this one is sabotaged, so we gotta roll for it. Oh, one, it explodes. So I have a 10-man squad, and the 10-man squad will take a d6. That's gonna be 2, strength 4 versus toughness 4, needing 4s, no wounds. So nothing there, but that objective is sabotaged. And the one back here is nothing of note, the one in my deployment zone. I scored a D3 victory points for holding any 3 objectives, which was number 3, number 5, and number 4 over there. Rolled it, only got 1 from that, but I also got first blood. So Necron started the game with 2 points, and now we're going to go into Tau turn 1. Okay, end of Tau, turn 1. We of course had some movement. We had some Devilfish move up with some units of Fire Warriors disembarking, grabbing that objective, which ended up being a Grav Wave generator as well, so -2 to the charge range on those Fire Warrior teams. I don't think they shot at anything this turn, that particular team. We had that Fire Warrior team that was running, failed their test again, is still running. A little bit of movement with the Warlord there. He had come up front, leading the pack to lay down some heavy fire, but of course Tau move again in the assault phase, so that's why he had some more movement afterwards. Piranha came up, Kroot went up around that forest there. Of course the big railgun Hammerhead did not move. And I think the Riptide actually stayed still at first, but had moved later in the assault phase.
Yep.
Then we went into the shooting phase. We basically had the Riptide and the Broadside teams with the missiles. And all their drones go into the Wraiths, which I had 5. I'm down to 1 with 1 wound. He's fearless, so he just stays there. I had the Kroot, the Piranha, and the Warlords team. Sorry, what's he called?
The Commander.
Oh, Commander? Okay. The Commander's team. They all went into the 10-man Necron Warrior squad that I had. He's down to 1 guy. He actually made his double 1 insane heroism leadership test. So he's obviously retarded, and it's gonna stay right there. We had the missiles over here from this broadside team, as well as the heavy railguns, rail rifles, shoot into the Warlord, using the Catacomb Command Barge, Armor 13, and Jinking. They did not get anything on him. And then we actually had the railgun from the Hammerhead, and I'm not sure what else.
It was the blast from the
the blast that hit the race also hit the Monolith. The Monolith has taken 2 whole points. That's pretty much it. I lost 1 warrior over here to some fire from this Fire Warrior team, and then we had running for the Devilfish with the Pathfinder team in it over to the side, so some flat out, and that's it. Like I said, we have a Grav Wave generator here. Nothing of note back here, which objective marker 2, Nick actually scored a point for holding that. And then, just my luck, once you know it, the tower holding objective marker 1, which happens to be a Skyfire Nexus, and I'm going to have flyers coming in on the next turn. So now his broadsides and all the missiles have Skyfire. That's just great. But they did score 1 point for holding objective marker 2, and then they finished up with their moving in the assault phase. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
So that's the end of Tau. Turn 1. You're going to, I believe, discard one of those extra cards.
I am.
So that means you'll draw 2 on your next turn. And I also discarded 1 at the end of my turn, so I'm going to draw 2 right now. So I'll go ahead and do that on camera. Drawing 2, I'm going to score D3 plus 3 victory points if you control every objective marker on the table at the end of your turn. Hopefully. And score 1 victory point. If your opponent failed the morale, pain, or fear test during this turn, if your opponent failed 3 or more, score D3. So possible, because I do have that Fire Warrior team still running, and I could possibly make another Fire Warrior team run. We'll see what happens. We're going to go into Necrons turn 2. End of Necrons turn 2. Start off, I rolled for some reserves. Ended up getting both Night Scythes in, so my Immortals and my Lich Guard with the Oricon. Went ahead and came in. I did roll for Oricon. He is not Divine yet or Empowered. So, moved up a warrior squad with a difficult terrain test, 6 inches, up to the edge of that forest, still holding that objective. Moved forward the monolith. Doomsday Arc stayed still. These warriors went and stayed still. This guy, the Transistor Catan, shuffled over. Like I said, I brought in the 2 flyers, disembarked out my guys. Then moved up the jet bikes 12 inches. I got 2 warrior squads, difficult terrain, up into that forest, holding that objective. We rolled for it twice. The trapped objective is not exploding on me. Catan moved forward 6 inches. Another squad moved up 6 inches. Track Stalker moved up 6 inches. This squad moved over 6 inches to get some line of fire on that Devilfish with the Pathfinder team inside of it. Moved up this other second monolith 6 inches. And that was it for movement. Went in the shooting phase and I dropped some fire with the Catans, rolling twice on their chart into the commander, dropping basically drones with their shots. Actually, no, I believe the Transistor Catan shot into the broadside team. I had warriors fire into the broadside team. I had the monolith fire into the commander. I had the Ghost Arc fire into the commander. Both flyers shot into the commander. My command squadron with the bikes shot into him as well, and the Immortals did as well. Moved up that one Wraith that's alive. Moved up that one warrior that's there, and he shot at a piranha and blew it up. Just kidding. No, basically what ended up happening is through warrior fire, I did end up dropping 2 piranha and caused a wound on that one there. I did end up dropping several drones and a crisis suit from the command team and caused a leadership, which they passed. I did templates with this monolith onto the Fireware team, which is now running over here towards their board edge. That gave me a point because I needed to make someone fail a morale, fear, or pinning test. That puts me at 3 points. And I believe that's everything. Pretty much the Lichguard team there can't do anything. They're a close combat squad, of course. The Heat Ray shot, it didn't do anything. Yeah, pretty much a little bit of damage to the broadside team, just a wound and a droid drone rather. Yeah. Drone and a wound gone. Said command team took a slight hit and one Fire Warrior team. But I pretty much dropped everything in the command squad. I really want to kill his Warlord because I have an objective that'll give me a bunch of points for doing so. So that is my kind of primary objective right now. I still have a Deathmark squad and a Doomside in my reserves. So that's it. 3-1 going into Tau, turn 2. End of Tau, turn 2. For the movement phase, we had the commander leave the battle suits and go over to the broadside team. We had the 2 Fireware teams that were running actually rallied. They turned back around. We had some Devilfish move up. This broadside team moved up from where it was, actually over to here, and then it moved again in the assault phase.
Crisis team, not broadside.
Crisis team, sorry. The battle suits. Pretty much the Piranha and the Kroot stayed where they were at.
Piranha circled a little bit.
A little bit. I don't, did you move anything else this year? I know these broadsides stay still. The Hammerhead stayed still. That guy stayed still. The big riptide there. Not a whole lot of movement, but some. Shooting phase. Basically dumped the Piranha, the Kroot, Fire Warrior team. The Crisis suits there. And I don't know what else.
That guy's guns, yeah.
Everything into the 5-man Lichguard squad with the Diviner, or the Empowered Orkin, and they died. So that was actually 1 unit destroyed for Nick. He had that one Wraith over here. The broadsides dumped their attacks into him, killed him. That was 2 destroyed. He did the Melta style guns. I'm not sure what they are.
Fusion cannons.
Fusion cannons from the Crisis team into the Monolith here, and actually caused 3 pins at a glance. That's 4 hull points. It goes bye-bye. It did not explode. It's just wrecked there. He did kill 1 Necron warrior from here. He ended up with a Nova charged blast template from the Riptide, dropping a few Immortals, as well as some shots from, what else went into the Immortals? The broadsides here, and ended up taking me down to 3 Immortals there. They passed their leadership tests, they're fine. The one warrior was not shot at, surprisingly. He did attempt a hammerhead shot into the Doomsday arc, but with the shot. Other than that, at the end of the phase, I rolled a 1 for the sabotaged objective marker 3. Ended up doing 6 wounds on the unit. Well, ended 6 hits rather. Ended up doing 3 wounds to the unit, and ended up, even with the reanimation protocol 4+ and their saves, 2 guys actually died. So 2 warriors died from a sabotaged objective marker 3. And then Nick scored a point for holding objective marker number 6 at the end of his turn. He also scored a D3 victory points for killing between 3 and 5 of my units during his turn. He rolled a 6 on that, which ended up giving him 3 points. That puts him at a total of 5 points now. So Tau jumped in the lead 5-3 at the end of turn 2. And now we're going to go into Necron turn 3. End of Necron turn 3. Not a bad turn. I moved the flyers up, got the Doom Scythe in. The Death Mark still did not come in. That was a fresh squad waiting to wound something on it too. Monolith moved up, Warrior squads moved up. Of course, Doomsday Arc stayed still. Shot the Lord and his bikes way over to the opposite side of the field. The reason being is because of my objectives. I need to score objective 6. Objective 1, these guys have secure objective special rule because they are troops, the Immortals there. So they go ahead and just ran up into that forest, grabbed the objective. That's giving me that point. I needed to blow off some fireworks from this objective to get objective 6 and score a point, but I didn't quite do it. I did get the Warlord down to 1 and destroyed his entire broadside team. He made his leadership test and only didn't die because of one feel no pain roll. And then that literally made the game right there. Essentially, we're going to call it right here at turn 3 because it's late at night and Nick and I both have to work the next day. So, tournament style, you only get 2 hours to play. Obviously, this is a much larger scale game than tournament. So, 3,500 points, we figured 3.5 hours is more than enough time. We got through, well, till the top.
2 turns and a half of the third.
Right, 2 full turns in the top of turn 3. But at the end of my turn 3, I could only get to 4 points. Nick's sitting on 5, and so that that calls it game. Basically, at that point, we could play out his turn. He would basically just score more points. Either way, it would be a Tau victory. But all in all, like I said, this is the first try for the new Necron codex, and Nick and I are pretty happy. Come over here, Nick.
Sure.
Okay, so as someone who's played against Necrons before, what did you think of the new Necron codex?
I definitely have a lot more on the field than you did previously. I think that's going to be a good thing in your favor because having more Necrons on the field is always a good thing. Your Lords were a hell of a lot less cheesy. With the exception of your HQ, that command barge is going to be a
Catacomb
hell of a
command
thing.
barge, armor 13 with Jink, sitting in front of some jet bikes there. Yeah, that's a fun nuisance. He shot at it first turn. After that was like, never mind.
Yeah,
left it alone.
not even worth shooting at again.
It's nice because, as Nick had pointed out to me, you know, people that want to slay the Warlord kill aren't really going to go for it because it's kind of difficult to do. However, also if I had the points, I could have thrown like some pretty cool little artifacts on him and maybe actually had him do something, but he really didn't do a whole much.
I think at the very least it's going to soak up a lot of enemy fire that's not going to do anything, and that's going to be really crucial, especially in tournaments.
And towards the end of the last codex, the Catacomb Command Barge was the way to go anyway with the chariot rules, so it still is. That's basically what it comes down to. The Night Scythes actually did some good work with the Twinling Tesla Destructors, so I think them being bumped up to 130 points is a decent. They were the only thing that gained points. They went up to 130 from 100, but I think it was a needed boost in points because they're strong transport.
Yeah.
15 model capacity. That was good. I think the Lich Guard dropping down 75 points is really good, but I think I need to run a 10-man squad now because that squad got killed. Granted, it took a lot,
It did.
But still, if I had a 10-man squad, they might have still been there. So
Yeah.
10-man squads better, and definitely the number one thing that I noticed as a Necron player is I was never someone to run Ghost Arcs. I always ran 20-man squads because I always wanted to get my reanimation protocols. Now that it's more like a feel no pain and I run 10-man squads, it's way better to be able to get around the field faster. So I'm going to start running transports. I'll have 6 to 10 warrior squads, each one with a Ghost Arc. So I need to go out and buy 10 Ghost Arcs now.
I think that'll be a good way to go.
That's the way he runs his Tau too, is like, you know, throw fire warriors inside of some transports, get them around, get them in the field to some objectives, and that's obviously effective with objectives. So I think doing that with Necrons, especially open top that can fire out of it, and it can repair some of them, that's a good tactic. But yeah, good game. I think it's a fair codex. I don't think it's overpowered. I don't think it's underpowered. Catan Shard, pretty scary.
Yes, that was pretty disgusting, especially for the points you paid for.
Yeah, 240 points. Like I said, we were playing it where, because it's a monstrous creature, it can fire 2 weapons in the shooting phase, we were letting him roll twice on the chart. Until we've been shown that that's not how to do it, and that's kind of how I'm going to play it. Of course, I asked Nick ahead of time, pointed out to him, see what he thought. He said it
We
seemed
figured
fair.
we'd give it a try, yeah.
So it was strong. It was definitely strong, but for 240 points. Also, Nick never fired at them, which I was surprised. They only have a 4-up save and a 4-up pinball. They would have died really quick.
There always seemed to be something else that I'd rather shoot at.
They were closer.
It was.
They weren't very close. They were at the far end.
No, they were in the back, and that's a good place for them to hide when the Tau are fighting, because the Tau don't like things getting close to them.
Yeah, but all in all, like I said, good game, fair codex. I don't think it's overpowered. I don't think it's underpowered. I think it's competitive. And Nick and I always have a lot of good games, and this came down to 5-4 at the top of turn 3. If we would have went 5 turns, who knows? You know?
Yeah.
That was
no,
a fun
it
game.
really was. It was a matter of dice roll or two, and it could have gone either way the whole game.
Either
I
way,
think.
as it usually is with us. So
Very true.
Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.
All right, thank you.